Hello YouTube, we're going to make a little shovel for our stove. We had trouble trying to put some charcoal briquettes in there, so we're going to a little shovel to do it. So this is going to be modified. It's going to be cut off, so it's squared, not rounded. Kind of curved up. We'll probably flatten the handle way out. So we got our propane torch, self-igniting, MAP gas. Someone asked me in a comment, maybe they watch all my videos, that's how you turn it on. That's your valve. I mean, it looks like one piece, but hey, you turn it on right here, and then there's your push button. Piezo, whatever. My little hammer. It used to be a tack hammer. I use it for making my tin can things. You ever remember that? Doing the scene. And then I've got my bigger ball peen hammers. My metal plate. One side is smooth. I used to use on my desk. I showed a video where I lapped this with my sander and everything. It's dirty. But said stuff like this here at your desk when you want to pound on something instead of a great big anvil. And of course my cutter blade. We're going to be cutting part of it off. We did a lot on the stove with these big cutter discs because it's an no-brainer. Why use them little ones? You got to watch these things. You get them in a bind. I've had them bust a hole out and go flying off the thing. You get them in a bind, they'll rip the inside out. So I haven't had one shatter, but I've had them rip the center hole out and go flying around my head. But always wear goggles, safety gear. Okay, let's get to work. We'll bring it back a few times during the process. Just cheap spoon. And I picked the thinnest, cheapest one I could find. It's like from a dollar type stores and places, imported. Very, very lightweight. I got some heavier ones. I wanted the thinnest I could get. Okay, 2 minutes. Let's time to work. Okay, we heat it up. We straighten it out like that. So that means we hit on the bowl of the spoon. Never have a pointer. We hit on this part more than here. If you've seen it before, you can see why I hit there. Because I want it as perfectly straight as I could as it comes up into there. What I'm trying to say. I want it just as straight as I could be exactly from here. Just my idea. Now I'm going to cut the front off so it's a squared edge, like a square shovel. If you ever work on construction, shovel dirt or concrete, it's not for digging in the dirt, it's just for shoveling out the dirt. Like when you clean your stove out with your little coal shovel, they're always squared, and then the sides are curved up. We don't know if we're going to get lucky and get the sides curved up, but it's probably going to be flattened so it isn't so deep of a bowl to it. We'll see. It's design as you go. It's whatever we come up with. Okay, we got that cut off. We're taking pictures too, so that's squared off. Now we need to flatten it out some. It needs to be flat. It's going to be flat with the sides bent up. So wish me luck on that. And I had to heat that quite a bit before it turned red. Once it turned red, it was red. I had to heat it quite a bit. It's stainless. And it cuts hard too with that Dremel stone. So it doesn't cut like soft metal. Still just cheap stainless steel. Okay, we're trying to flatten this out little by little. We may have to make the whole thing flat and then just form up the sides. We'd like to have it a little bit curved back here towards the handle. And we don't want to put too many hammer marks, but it is a handmade tool. You know what I mean. Ball peen hammer, it's not the greatest one, but we're going to go back some more. We're just going to keep working our way back. It takes a lot to heat that, but once it's hot, it's hot. We're just banging it down on our flat plate. We got it hanging over the edge of the table like this. See? Well, like I said, we got our little hammer we can peck with, but that hammer is so beat up. I think we're going to switch to a better hammer that's got more polished edge. Remember, whatever's on your hammer, you're putting into the metal. Just remember that. We're going to switch to a better hammer. Okay, here's the plan. That don't mean it's going to work. See, I got a polished hammer. I just got to polish it. In 8 degrees, I did a quick job with a sanding drum and an emery stone. But it's better. Can you see that little It's humped up right here. But can you see the natural curve of the spoon we want to keep? Okay, we want to fold the sides up. We're trying to, without even looking at it, we're trying to do our little coal shovel where it's just squared on the edge of the sides are folded up, and then the back is rounded and it dishes in. So if you see like a little coal shovel, we have to really flatten this thing way out to get to what we want. We're probably gonna put it in our vise. We might heat it up and have our vise set where we can drop it in it and start bending the side over. Who knows what kind of metal this is? It looks brass like they're doing it, but remember, this is stainless. You don't know what it was made from. They may call it stainless. You don't really know what's in here, because we know where it's made. But I like it. It's really lightweight. It doesn't weigh anything. You don't have a hole drilled in here. If you can't drill the stuff with a drill bit, drill it with a round Dremel diamond bit. Okay, enough talk about that. When I come back, it's probably going to be more closer to done, because I just want to show you the basics. I just want kind of a bowl shape back here and the sides curved up. And we can't weld. I mean, if we could weld, we'd cut that and fold it up and re-weld it and reshape it. See if we had a TIG welder or something. We'll see what happens. But it has to be red to bend it. This stuff will not bend without being red hot. It won't bend at all. Now that you can pound on it all day long, it's not going to move. So you've got to get this stuff hot. And it will cool down really fast too. So these are the tips I'm giving you there. Okay, are you getting the idea? See them nasty gouges? I had to modify my hammer. I had this squared, so it's rounded over. See that? To make corners, and then it's also rounded over on, if you can point out my big fat fingers. It's not only rounded this way, we have to round it this way. So there's no sharp corners. So when you get in and you start banging, you're not leaving them sharp corner marks. See that? It's all about miniature blacksmithing with a torch. I think you get the idea. And we're going to try to put that back in there. See that curve? Can't really see from there. We want that curve. We want this to curve around here. Maybe you can see it kind of like what I'm talking about there. We want this back. This will be lifted up into a curve when we're done forging. See? I think you know what I mean. And then down here it'll be flat. And it will have sides, and we'll probably grind some of the sides off. It won't be humped up. It'll be squared off. We only started about 1/16 of an inch in there. When we first started, we marked it. Boy, it turned out narrower than what we thought. But we're going for it. It's just a teat spoon. We're just playing around. We'll get this down. We're all learning this. I have no training or schooling or nothing except watching a few YouTube videos how to blacksmithing. So I'm amateurish. Yeah, but I've bent a lot of metal and stuff over the years with a torch, so you kind of get the idea. And I'm not a body man either, but it'll be good. Remember, it's a shovel. It doesn't have to be polished. Might look better than we think, though. It's just a shovel. I feel like a kid playing with little toys, but that's what it takes to get in there if you want to move a piece of charcoal around, or instead of using a stick, here, I don't know why I talk like that. Let's get back to work. Well, what do I say? It's crude but effective. See how I wanted a little bit of a bowl back here? You don't want your stuff to fall. Say you're scooping ashes out or something on a real life-size one. You wouldn't want it to fall at the back. We're going to square these up a little bit. That's flat enough. We had a lot of trouble with the handle twisting. When we was trying to hammer this, the handle was all over the place. So I didn't even worry about it. I waited till I was all done, and I straightened the handle in the vise and flattened it out on my little anvil. And I have to dig out my little, I have a little small homemade anvil. I have to find it. I have a miniature toy one, but I have an actual one I made one time for stuff to hammer out on. Besides this, that's really not an anvil. There you go. We'll be back when we're done shaving this down a little bit here so it's not so curved. It won't be completely straight, but we're taking some of it off. Then we're going to clean it up. Like I said, we're not going to try to, we took all the marks out, it would end up being paper thin, so it's just crudely forged. We got vice grip marks on there, which we knew would happen, and we'll put a hole in it some other time. So we'll be back when we're done cleaning it up. I took my stone and swirled around, get rid of them little peck marks, go different directions. When you sand it, they're probably going to come back. We're going to make the handle look nice. We're not going to worry too much about this part. It's going to get dirty. It's going to have stove ashes on it. Look for the pictures at the end because I have pictures of how I did some of this stuff. Okay, we're done with our little shovel. We took our homemade scrubby Scotch thing and put a brush finish on there because part of it was shiny, part of it was ground, and we did take the emery wheel and polish some of these scratches out, but I did show you, I think I did, how I got rid of some of that other junk by just swirling it around, but it's good enough. It's a little shovel. Sorry about clanging this to the video. I reviewed it. It's like, quit clanging your silverware. We did take some pictures. We'll make sure we have this might be a good thumbnail shot like that. So, thanks for watching.